What's going on, guys? ShoeTuber back with another video, and today I want to talk about a grail that a personal grail that I've been trying to go for actually a couple years now, and I actually finally got it. So, short story right before we get into the review of the sneaker. So I was on Twitter and I follow shout outs to this Twitter. I'll link it on the description below. Their sneaker shout outs. So sneaker shout outs, they are always posting up, really good deals, sneaker steals. And it's always like kind of first come, first serve, and they're like from various sites and whatnot. But they're, all the sites that they do, they vet really well and they're legitimate. So it's not like you're ever gonna get a fake sneaker. But one day I was just scrolling through and then I saw a deal for these sneakers that I've been waiting on for a long time. And so they were, again, shout out sneaker shouts. And then Stadium Goods was selling the sneaker, and it wasn't through Stadium Goods directly, but it was through their eBay account. And I know from the last video, I did a couple videos before that, I talked about, not buying from eBay, but since it was, through Stadium Goods account, and they have a lot of rep and they have, a lot of feedback to back up, what they've sold in the past. I had no problem trusting them. So the sneaker that I got and that I've been personally waiting to get for a long time was the Adidas Yeezy 700 Inertia, the V1. And so I absolutely love this sneaker, and I was super happy to get it for the price in dead stock condition, the price that they were selling it for. So yeah, so let's do the review. So here you have the Adidas Yeezy 700 Inertia V1. When I first saw this sneaker, I absolutely loved it. Like I said before, between the V1 and the V2, I personally like the V1 much better. I think the V2 just has a little bit too much going on in terms of kind of like these details right here that continue along I think the V1 does a better job in terms of combining materials and just really kind of getting more of an organic feel overall than the V2. So this sneaker has definitely been my kind of favorite colorway for the 700 series for a very long time, and I just been really excited to just be patient and wait, and good things come to those who wait, and I got this for a pretty good deal. So they, on the resale market, my size, which is a size 11 for Yeezys, is $330, and then when Sneaker Shouts came out with the price drop, these were selling for $275, and I think it was just across the board for every size. So I thought that was a really good steal, and I could not pass that up, especially for it being a dead stock. I know for the V1 series, their original retail is $300. So for them to dip right under their retail price is not very often. So I just couldn't pass that moment up. But yeah, like the reason why I like the Inertia colorway so much is, one, is really simple, and all the colors really kind of match together. You have all these different hues and tones of blue, and I actually kind of like to think of this more as like kind of what you would see in a comet, I guess you could say, like flying through the sky. I think the colors like are very nice, cold, cool colors, and is very icy feeling. This small touch of coral colors right here makes the sneaker just pop out just a little bit, but not too much. So I think that's just a nice accent of color that's added onto the sneaker. If you look right here on the bottom, I've already wore these a couple times. I just absolutely love the sneaker. Just a nice kind of off-white looking sole pattern, and you can just see the boost right under it. Like I said before in other videos, I really kind of like the way Kanye designs the soles of the Yeezy sneakers, especially for like the 500 and the 700s, because they just kind of have a really almost like topographical feel to it. They really kind of mimic nature in a way, where in a scientific way too, when you're looking through things in a topographical map, all the lines and ridges that kind of represent mountains or like different changes of elevation. So I always, again, I think that's just a really cool like abstract way of looking at something, and the 500 and the 700s really kind of emulate that. So going back to let's concentrate a little bit on the sole of the sneaker. I just the the way this is just like overall organic, which I really like. And you know, it's really kind of interesting to see like as to what led Kanye and the design team to really, you know, make the sole out like this. And I just think when you're walking, it just represents really great like motion. So you know, if you when you see somebody walk by, you know, with these kind of sneakers on, it just the sneaker just has a great, I guess, momentum to it. I think that's just something weird to say, but I that's the best way I can describe it, really. And like when it's just standing there, and you know, you're just someone standing there, and you know, the sneakers are static. They just have kind of a great stance and a great, you know, foundation, going up to, you know, somebody's outfit and whatnot. But really like these, you know, indentations and these just kind of organic feeling, details that go along the midsole. I just feel like it makes the sneaker look effortless, if that makes sense. And it just gives, it doesn't make the sneaker feel rigid or constrained to like a singular form. There's just so much going on with it. And then like as you go up, actually before we do that, the one thing I don't like about these sneakers is the way they crease. So like you can see right here, after wearing them a couple times, the materials kind of crunch and you know, crease really easily. So that's, I think that's one thing that kind of like really disturbs the sneakers aesthetic and look, is that one thing right there. When you break them in, you know, like you're always going to have creases on sneakers, but some show more than other pairs, and this definitely shows. Even though it's a very small crease, it's very noticeable, and it's a little bit of an eyesore to me sometimes. But that's like kind of my real only complaint with the sneaker, is the creasing. But yeah, to continue up, I always like in the all Kanye Yeezy sneakers, the like small accents of like reflective materials. So like right here you have two pieces of you know, reflective materials. Usually along the sneaker, like the stitching, there's a layering of reflective material. Usually you can't see it, but like you'll notice like when the light hits it just right, that you'll get that nice like little shine and glow from the sneaker. That's a nice detail I like on my 500 slates, that, you know, depending on how I'm like walking or like my foot position, like I'll always see like some sort of reflectiveness going on with the sneaker. So I really like that like small accent. The leather on here is super soft. You know, this is all suede leather right here. Going here, the only like actual like, you know, skin leather is along where the eyelets are. And I guess, you know, from a design standpoint, for strength and sustainability, and for like the entire integrity of the sneaker, that's done here. But again, more aesthetic wise, the sneaker definitely has a more softer feeling the lower you get. But then once you get towards the top, where the eyelets and the sole is, not the sole, but the where you get to the ankle, the materials get more matted and more, like, I guess you can say, a little bit more rigid. And I think that's just a great way to represent the sneaker. Something I didn't notice going into the inside of the sneaker, I don't know if you can see, but right here, there's like a band that like kind of holds the tongue of the sneaker in place. And I think that's really good, because this sneaker is super comfortable, and it like literally fits like a glove. And I've said this, probably I've oversaid it a couple times at this point with a couple of the past videos with the AirTech challenges and the 500 slates. But again, like the models of these sneakers are, I mean, at the price point that they're at and the quality that they're being made by, you definitely have to, you know, make this sneaker not just about aesthetic, but for comfort as well. The boost in here is super cushiony. The way it just hugs your feet just literally makes it feel like you're wearing a glove on your feet, and it's just amazing. Again, this is like, I'm super happy and appreciative to have gotten this sneaker at the price it was, and overall, like, I'm very happy. I just love the mesh material. And you know, I guess the final words on this is, you know, the mesh that goes along the sneaker, it's you know, is pretty present throughout the entire silhouette, but it's definitely like a backdrop. It doesn't overtake the sneaker, and I definitely think that the mesh comes, you know, the aesthetic overall. So like this is a really, you know, not loud sneaker for sure. The only thing that makes it loud are the coral color tones right here, and maybe even these kind of like more like, I wouldn't say glacier blue, but like cloud blue accents right there. But I think this just kind of defines the overall silhouette of the sneaker, and I think this sneaker, like, again, is my favorite. It's obviously not the most hype, but you know, hype is pretty subjective, and what people like is also pretty subjective. So overall, I just love this sneaker, and I'm just, again, super happy to get it. So yeah, there it is. So thanks guys for watching my video. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. There's some sneaker drops that are gonna be happening soon, and there's a couple things I really want to cop. So hopefully if I get those, I can post another video for you guys and another review. As always, you know, thanks for watching, and I'm just another shoe tuber.